What's up guys, Polartron here, and today we're checking out the Incredibles theory. Is Gamma Jack from the Incredibles? I mean, this is a little bit far-fetched because we know Gamma Jack is a god. He controls everything. He controls gamma rays to the point where, I don't know, man, it's a dead battle, man. You can't fight this guy. And then Jack, a baby. I don't know how Alex is gonna do this, but if he manages to do this, man, I'm gonna get pied in the face. Alright, let's check it out, man. Oh my god, man.
What if I told you that this is actually Jack from the future?
Time machine.
Gamma Jack is a character from The Incredibles that we see only for a few seconds. He is one of the many superheroes Syndrome killed as a part of Operation Kronos, and at first glance, he just kind of seems like a throwaway filler character. But if you look in The Incredibles DVD extras, you'll find a bunch of files full of information about all of these deceased heroes,
Oh, wow.
including their powers, personality traits, and even audio clips of them talking.
I'm a man of culture, a man of passion,
Wow.
and I would say a man of humor, which is not widely known.
But Gamma Jack's file is a bit different than the other heroes. He is one of the most powerful
Jack,
supers
too, the word
in
Jack.
this franchise, with extremely dangerous radiation powers and a very disturbing personality.
Part of my job is to prioritize which villains I'm going to combat. The real kicker is I get these dames, man, these dame villains, and they got the curves and the hair and the big eyes, and boy, those ones, they're really, really hard to kill.
He's the only hero
Wow.
who outright kills people, and when it comes to saving people, he always prioritizes attractive women first.
You know, I take a
Wow.
look around, I see if there's any good-looking women who need to be rescued immediately, and then I sort of start from there and work my way down the list. You know, if you've
Wow.
got Tubby Joe Schmo over there with a laser pointed at his head, and he might have to wait in line a little while.
He's described as tyrannical and megalomaniacal, and even believes people with superpowers are a superior race. Gamma Jack is
Wow.
like a straight-up villain. He's basically the Incredibles version of Homelander, and a lot of people have
Exactly.
been making videos about him recently because of how much he sticks out in this franchise. But I think I've discovered something that nobody else has yet. What if Gamma Jack isn't just some background character? What if he's someone who's been hiding in plain sight all of this time? I believe that Gamma Jack is actually Jack from the future. I know that sounds like a big stretch. At first glance, these two characters seem nothing alike, both in their powers and personality.
Looks normal to me.
I mean, how could I possibly claim that sweet, adorable Jack is
Yeah.
actually a tyrannical super supremacist? Well, just stick with me, because I guarantee that this will be the most compelling, believable Incredibles theory you will ever hear. You are going to be blown away by how well all of this lines up.
Better
This
hold on
is
to my hat
the
before I get
Gamma
blown away.
Jack theory. So, this all started when I noticed a couple strange similarities between these two characters.
mean, I don't
Obviously, they
see
are both
any.
named Jack, and they are both extremely powerful supers. There's also maybe a passing resemblance, with both of them having a similar mask, and their hair ending in a single sharp point. But I didn't really start to take this seriously until I started comparing Gamma Jack's file to Jack. Gamma Jack is described as a picky eater, which is probably one of Jack's most defining traits.
Yeah,
Literally,
whoa.
Jack's first scene is Helen struggling to get him to eat, and a large part of the Incredibles 2 plot revolves around Jack only wanting to eat cookies and throwing a massive tantrum when he doesn't get them.
Obviously, I can't keep giving him cookies.
Wow. Wow.
Jack is an extremely
Come on, Jack,
picky eater.
don't do this
Gamma
to your
Jack
dad.
is also described as a favorite of the ladies, which I think you can also apply to Jack.
Can't I
Yeah.
Who can handle it? Who can handle it?
Babysitting this one, I do for free.
All of the women who take care of Jack
Wow.
clearly
He's
adore
a chick
him.
magnet from
He
birth.
stayed up all
Oh my
night
God.
making sure you look fabulous in your
Yeah, that's crazy.
He is definitely a favorite of these ladies. Okay, but what about tyrannical and megalomaniacal impulses? Well, doesn't that kind of sound like how Jack Jack is constantly and impulsively throwing violent tantrums?
Combustion imminent? What does that mean?
It means fire, Robert.
Even when Jack Jack fights someone, he seems to always go for the kill just like Gamma Jack.
Oh wow, what the?
I mean, he did kind of indirectly kill Syndrome. Okay, so there
Yeah,
are some
yeah.
surprising similarities here, but let's address the elephant in the room. Gamma Jack is an adult who died in the past, and Jack Jack is obviously a baby in the present. For this to work, there would need to be some kind of time travel involved.
Exactly.
And
I
while
think
Jack
there
Jack
is.
an extremely powerful super with many different reality warping powers, we never actually see him do anything that resembles time travel. The closest we maybe get is his weird ability to travel between dimensions.
That's still time travel, I guess.
Cha-Cha want a cookie?
Wow! He can still hear you
From the other dimension, yeah.
That is freaky.
Except, I think there might be more to this dimensional power than we think. In The Incredibles 2, Edna creates a device that can help track and manage Jack Jack's powers, and it can even be used to help find Jack Jack when he moves into the other dimension.
He vanished.
Okay, good. Use the thing. See that? That's the current readout. Click it. See the readout? Dimension 4. So where is he?
But if you look closely, you'll see that the device labels Jack Jack's dimension as 4D,
4D.
as in the fourth dimension, a dimension that is commonly accepted to represent time, meaning when Jack Jack is warping through dimensions, he is actually traveling through time.
Whoa.
Okay, so Jack Jack could have traveled back in time and became Gamma Jack. But here's another big issue with this theory. If they're supposed to be the same person, then why are their powers different? Maybe you could argue Jack Jack has
Maybe he
some
focuses on one
radiation-based powers,
when he gets
but Gamma
older.
Jack definitely doesn't have Jack Jack's many reality warping god powers.
Yeah, that's very powerful. Like, imagine being born as.
And yes, that is true, but listen to how Edna talks about Jack Jack's powers.
Like all babies, he has enormous potential. It is not unknown for supers to have more than one power when young, but this little one has many.
It is not unknown for supers to have more than one power when young. She talks about it like all super babies can have multiple powers when they're young, but eventually they all grow up and narrow it down to just one or two. Director Brad Bird has also made similar comments about how Jack Jack's powers are because of the unlimited potential he has as a baby.
Babies are unknown, so they could be nothing, they could be everything. You don't know. Every single one of them is up for grabs of what they're going to become. They could become a leader of the free world or a bagman, or maybe both. I don't know.
Maybe Jack Jack having so many powers is kind of unusual, but there is a precedent that he could lose most of his powers. In fact, this explains why Jack Jack would be living in the past under a new identity. Maybe Jack Jack traveled back in time and then lost his ability to time travel, making him stuck in the past forever. This also lines up with a deleted flashback scene from the first Incredibles, where we can see Gamma Jack was close friends with Mr. Incredible and Frozone.
As if he hung out with him when he got
A few of us
older.
had heard about them and approached him. Had to talk him into becoming a superhero. We had a club. The first club that wanted him to join.
It makes sense. If Jack Jack is trapped in the past, he'd probably want to be close to his dad and Uncle Lucius, even if he can't tell them who he really is. Okay, but does Jack Jack actually have Gamma Jack's powers? I mean, maybe his fire or laser powers are kind of similar, but is that really the same thing as having radiation powers? Well, let's take a look at what Gamma Jack's powers actually are. The file's description is pretty vague, but based on his name and logo, I'm gonna assume his powers involve specifically gamma radiation.
Exactly,
which is a
that's what I
form
said
of
in the beginning.
high-energy electromagnetic radiation. And guess what? We are told by Edna that one of Jack Jack's powers is specifically electromagnetism.
That's the same thing.
Electromagnetism.
Gamma Jack's powers are based on electromagnetic radiation. Jack Jack has electromagnetism powers. They could have given Gamma Jack any form of radiation powers, but they
chose
specifically
gamma.
chose the type of radiation that Jack Jack can control because they are the same person. Also, if you consider the LEGO tie-in video
The
games to be
Lego.
canon, we do see that Gamma Jack has the power of flight and specifically green lasers, which is also
Oh, wow.
the exact same as Jack Jack's. Do I even need to keep going at this point? Gamma Jack is Jack Jack. This has to be intentional. Okay, so these characters line up really, really well, to the point where I don't think that this is a coincidence anymore.
Coincidence? I think not!
But there is still one final issue with this theory. Why would Jack Jack, a sweet, adorable baby with two
Become
loving
evil?
parents with good values, grow up to believe that supers are a superior race? Like, that kind of feels like the last thing Jack Jack would ever believe. I mean, Helen even goes out of her way to tell her kids that having powers doesn't make you inherently better.
But Dad always said our powers were nothing to be ashamed of. Our powers made us special.
Everyone's special, Dash.
Maybe Bob is a little more enthusiastic about superpowers, but he would definitely never call them a superior race. I mean,
Maybe
that is
Jack
just
Jack.
unambiguously next-level discrimination. Where the hell would Jack Jack possibly get this insane idea from?
Maybe from within, because he has so many powers?
I used to design for gods. You are a tiny god. They are lucky to be in your presence.
Edna Mode believes that supers are gods, that they are above normal humans. She says it
What?
all the time, and she even seems disgusted by non-supers.
Supermodels. Nothing super about them, spoiled, stupid little stick figures with poofy lips who think only about themselves. I used to design for gods.
Okay, sure, but she only babysat Jack Jack one time. How much could she possibly have rubbed off on
I
him?
don't know, man.
Yes, you are a tiny god. The room is yours. They are lucky to be in your presence.
Wow.
Literally
they
after
corrupted
one
him.
day with Edna, Jack Jack starts acting exactly like her. Exactly like Gamma Jack.
These people are lucky to share the city with supers.
They are lucky to be in your presence.
Wow.
And then she offers to babysit him anytime after this for free.
But babysitting this one, I do for free.
Holy shit, she is absolutely gonna mess this baby up.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I think this is a very strong case for Jack Jack eventually becoming Gamma Jack. Unfortunately, this does mean that Jack Jack will eventually be killed by one of Syndrome's robots.
No.
Maybe you could argue that's a good thing considering who he turns into. Or maybe he somehow faked his death. I don't know. It could be possible. I do think that there's something kind of interesting about Syndrome killing Jack Jack, but then later baby Jack Jack indirectly kills Syndrome. So it's kind of like this poetic time loop.
There's
The Incredibles
so
3
much.
is coming out
When
in
time is
2028,
involved,
so I
there's
guess
so
we'll have
many
to wait and see
possibilities.
if it supports or debunks my theory. You know, even if this was intentional at one point, I do kind of doubt that they'll ever bring back this pretty obscure Gamma Jack character, but, you know, we'll see. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider checking out my
Wow,
other
man.
fan theories and subscribing. I've got
Oh my god, man. This was crazy, man. The Incredibles theory, Gamma Jack is Jack Jack. Am I convinced? I kind of am, because of the point of radiation. Not the radiation, the gamma radiation. Gamma electromagnetic radiation. Which they both have. Number 2. Him being told he's a god and superheroes are all gods, which is crazy, man. One day of babysitting can easily change a baby because their brains are like sponges. But I'm pretty much convinced, man, and I'm gonna rate this theory a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would rate it, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.